You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, we're going to talk about Bill Belichick, Jordon Hudson, and Pablo Torre. Pablo Torre, of course, was doing all those stories, putting out all those stories regarding the relationship with Jordon Hudson and UNC football, and was she allowed on campus, was she not? All of these sort of things. Well, Jordon Hudson has decided to strike back against Pablo Torre. I am certainly no Pablo Torre fan. I can tell you that right now. However, this is kind of weird that I was getting ready to shoot this video and I just happened upon Bill Belichick news from this morning. And it's relatively breaking news now. I'm going to be the first to tell you. Take this with a grain of salt, okay? Because it's Josina Anderson. Okay. But I do think there's some validity in it. I just think there's not a world where a team is not going to at least broach the subject. But she has put this out in the last, less than 2 hours. New. I am told that, quote, at least 2 NFL teams are still expected to have interest in talking to Bill Belichick behind the scenes, at the very least, about head coaching jobs this carousel season, per a league source. Quote, a third team is also in the mix with desires to talk, particularly if one specific personnel change is made under ownership, a source added. Side note, there's more to the story of why Belichick did not end up head coaching another NFL team a couple of seasons ago, with his own desires and preferences regarding workplace dynamics playing more into a part of it than I think has been discussed, publicly known, or given real precedence. At any rate, Belichick still has deep respect from a number of owners across the league, and that is what matters. Well, that makes me wonder right there, are the Giants back in this? You know, I mean, is the Giants back in this? Look, the Bills once again are underachieving with Josh Allen. And Bill Belichick and the Bills, there's been smoke around that prior in the past. All right, I've got the NFL playoff teams and the ones that are not making the playoffs. I've got this up here. All right, now, he was once the coach of the Browns. A lot of people believe Kevin Stefanski's on his way out. The Cardinals are interesting in all this because I think Jonathan Gannon is going to be out the door. Okay? So the Cardinals are an interesting place to look at with Belichick. I want to say Tennessee, but if Amy Adams Strunk got her little feelings hurt by the alpha energy from Mike Vrabel, then she's not going to have Bill Belichick in there. She's not going to have Bill Belichick in there. So I think you're looking, and I would have said the Dolphins is another place, okay? Would Tom Brady bring in Bill Belichick? I've done videos on that before. Before they hired anybody, people wondered, would Tom and Bill hook up with the Raiders? And then, of course, always the Giants. And supposedly the Giants shot that whole thing down. But, there they are. God, I had to scroll down further because they're the only team officially eliminated. That's pretty wild. So, Jordon Hudson said she's suing Pablo Torre. Okay, and just there she is right there, Jordon. She's holding a all access pass to get into the North Carolina facilities. P.S. I'm suing you at Pablo Torre. All right. In a social media post on Sunday, Hudson posted a picture of her all access badge while she donned a necklace reading, quote, banned. I see it right there. You actually had a necklace made? Presumably in response to an episode of Pablo Torre's show in which he reported that Hudson's access to UNC facilities had been restricted. It's unclear under what pretenses Hudson would be suing Torre over. Any sort of libel or defamation lawsuit would face a high bar considering Hudson's status as a public figure and the generally robust protections journalists are afforded under the First Amendment. Torre took little time to respond to Hudson's claim, joking that he would likely be declining an invite. She would be declining an invite on his podcast. Jordan Bella, I assume this means you're declining my invitation to be a guest on Pablo Finds Out, and I think his show's called Pablo Torre Finds Out. Either way, I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks, Pablo. Now, keep in mind, this D-bag was on MSNBC this week talking how much the Democrats are the party of NFL football. So immediately, now I've given the one-ass eye to Pablo Torre, all right? Now, attorney David Samson has come out and said the following: bring it. Please do me a favor and do it. It would make me so happy. Talking about actually suing Pablo Torre. Quote, I can't wait to read what law firm of Dewey Cheatham and Howe Incorporated is going to represent you in some sort of defamation case, and how you will crawl over the Supreme Court cases that say what Pablo defamation ? He's barely been descriptive, for crying out loud. Quote, you've got another worry there, Jordon. Your boyfriend had such a bad season at North Carolina, he might be one and done, which is what we all said anyway. And that means you may be at 14 minutes and counting, 15 minutes of fame, forgetting the arguments that you go ahead and leak to the New York Post and all the stuff you think is going on with Belichick's family. The matter of fact is, Miss Hudson, it's over, literally. So to the extent that you want to extend it by filing a lawsuit, please do me a favor and do it. It would make me so happy. So he's saying I know one thing, Discovery, oh, that'd be interesting. When they go to Discovery, that'd be interesting. What are we gonna talk about? What all's coming out here? I got to tell you, I did not and have not crushed Bill over this Jordon Hudson relationship. He's a grown man. She's technically speaking a grown woman, and that's of age. So I have been like, it seems a little weird, but okay, fine. Until I believe it was this past last Thursday and the Friday, I was on a member stream and we talked about an event that Bill Belichick went to, which was an adult cheerleading event that Jordon was involved with, in which she was a participant. And I saw the pictures of her dressed up from that and competing, and then Bill standing off to the side like the Godfather. And I was like, ew. It was the first time I was like, ew. That I gave it a 1. That I had a feeling, a rush of seeing, a rush of creepo. Just went through me like, ugh. Seeing her dressed up as a cheerleader, and I'm like, number one, what kind of maturity level are that you're involved with professional, some kind of, I don't even know if it's professional, adult cheerleading? Get some new hobbies. I mean, it's over. You're not in high school anymore. And seeing the relation of what she looked like in relation to somebody that would be in high school and underage, it creeped me the bleep out. I'm not going to lie. I was like, okay, now I'm creeped out by this relationship and I want it to end. No offense, Bill. Gross. Now it's gross. And I continue to wonder, and I've said this out loud, anybody in the media willing to go on record or even explore it, did he not get the Falcons job because of her? Of his relationship to her? Because, she was lurking around in the last years at the Patriots. Inquiring minds want to know. Tell me what you think. Teams sniffing around Bill. Question is, who did that come from? Did that come from somebody in his camp? An agent? Somebody trying to get some business drum up in anticipation of getting that from North Carolina? Escape plan? Now, do I legitimately believe there's owners that want to talk to Bill? Yeah, I do. I do. I think owners' perceptions of Bill is different than fans' perception of Bill. In New England media, y'all are out of your mind. It would not shock Jimmy Haslam, David Tepper. If he decides to move off of Dave Canales for some reason, because I don't believe I don't care if they are competing for the South. He's not a dude. He's not a guy. He's not. But Bidwell, I could see it. I still think the Giants are in play. I know there's been a denial that wasn't going to happen, yada, yada, yada. I'll believe it when until they hire someone else, I'm going to think the Giants are in play there. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.